So hello everybody and welcome to another video on UnityDEV HD. Today we're going to talk about UI elements in Unity. So let's get started with the last scene which we were working on. I'm in the exact scene as we were before. So the thing that you're going to do in working with UI is that you're going to right click on your hierarchy. You're going to go to UI and select one of these UI elements to get yourself into UI things. So I'm going to talk with event system and things like that when we just add a UI element. So let's add a text UI element. So as you can see, when I add a UI element and I add an element to our scene, we can see that it adds a canvas and an event system to our scene. So what do these two things do? So the canvas is actually the place that all of our UI elements to get placed in. Our event system is actually an element that has got the control over different events that will happen to our UI from different sources. For example, when we've got an input to do something with our button or deal with our text, this event system should be actually there to get the things working with the inputs, mouse, button clicks and things like that. So let's go to the text thing and let's double click on it or click on F to focus on it. So as you can see, we're in the reversed way of it, so we can go just on the other way to see the whole thing. Okay, we're doing fine right here. And so as you can see, we've got this text element in here. If we also concentrate on the game scene, we can see that we are seeing this little new text thing popping up in this place in our actually game. So in working with UI elements, I most of the times recommend that you use the rect tool. So as you remember, we would only click on the rect tool or go through different keys like Q, W, E, or T, and the rest. So T is the rect tool, and we're actually working with it, and it's super easy to work with UI elements because, as you know, when I just drag the things around, I can see the middle of our screen every single time I am working with these UI elements, and also the modules and things like that that we've got from different axes. So it is a really good tool to use when you're actually using UI elements in Unity. You can of course use the move tool. So as you can see, I'm moving this thing up and down, but I actually recommend that you use the rect tool because you can also get it resized every single time you're working with it, and it is super easy. So it is really simple to work with UI elements because, as you can see, in this place is pretty obvious that we've got a text and we're going to add a text. For example, we're going to say UnityDEV HD as an example. We've got the font size. You can also add a font to it and a font style. So I'm going to make it, for example, something like 40, and I'm going to make it bigger a little bit. So as you can see, it automatically gets resized to the thing that we've got. You can also go for the alignment to be centered, or every single thing you would like to go with the color, and you know, all of these you can just work around, and you should know these kind of things because these are normal texts, and you actually know these kind of things because these are not so complicated, and most of the people do know about these things. So an asset that has been published by Unity that is a replacement for all of these not all of these UI elements, but some of them, like texts, like drop downs and input fields and buttons. We've got some to come up with Text Mesh Pro. Text Mesh Pro is the improved asset that is actually published by Unity that you can use instead of these assets that you can see. So it gives a better control over different settings of texts and things like that. So you can actually use this easier and get better control over different texts and things like that. So as you can see, this is the text mesh per thing that we've got here. We've got the font asset, material preset, font style, it is redesigned, font size, vertex color, and so on that you can actually see. We've got an outline, underlay, face, and things like that. That is actually something complete and you can use instead of texts or buttons and all of these assets that we've got. So in the canvas, if we do add another element, we're going to add, for example, a scroll bar, a drop down, or everything. You can see that it works easily without doing anything else. So you can see that, for example, if I just drag this thing here in my game scene and things like that, if I press play, you can see that without doing any just codings and things like that, I can click on this drop down and see all these things. Of course, you can give functions to these different drop down elements in this place by using code, but actually, as you can see, this UI element is really easy to use. Also, another thing that most of the people do just face in their game development things is that when they just change the resolution of the page, or just they get it on another kind of device, they see that some of their elements are not in the scene. So as you can see, my drop down element is actually gone. And when I get the thing back again, or just change it to a 4K thing, you can see that this element gets in this place. So what is the way to fix this? It's only the thing that we can do is the only thing that we can do with the canvas. So now if we come to the canvas, we've got different components in this place. So let's talk about these components until we get to the fix of this. So this component is the render mode. What are the differences between render modes? So the differences between render modes, it's like the thing that you should know somehow a little bit of Unity. So the screen space overlay, so as you can see, is the main thing that is selected, is kind of a render mode that places UI elements on the screen rendered on the top of the scene. And if the screen is resized or changes the resolution just happens to the scene, the canvas will automatically change the size to match this. If we go to the screen space camera, this is somehow similar to screen space overlay, but in this render mode, the canvas is placed a given distance in front of a specified camera. The UI elements are actually rendered in different ways, and the options that we've got on our camera can affect our UI elements. And for the last thing, we've got the world space, and in this render mode, the canvas and its elements will just work as normal objects and any other objects that we've got in our scene. And the size of the canvas can be set manually using its rect. Transforming UI elements will render in front of or behind other objects in the scene based on 3D placement. So most of the times I use screen space overlay, and we've got these kind of things as the best ones and the best options. But as you can see, we've got actually a component over here that is called Canvas Scaler. We've got UI scale mode. We've got different scales, so you can scale with screen size. We've got a constant physical size and constant pixel size. So the thing that you should actually do in here is that we're going to scale it with screen size. So the reference thing, I'm going to give it the reference of 4K. So some of the users might just use the resolution of 4K. So if you search on the internet about 4K resolution, you can get these numbers easily. So now if I put it in this place, so it's 4096 and 2160 as I suppose, so you can put 2160 as a reference. So right now if I change these to a 4K thing and I place the canvas elements in the correct positions and correct sizes, so whenever I just change the screen size, I can just feel the differences and tell the differences between these two, and I see that it has just matched the screen size, and it is so good that we can actually use this easily. So we've got this drop down thing. We can also just increase the font size over this, so we can just see it in a better actual way. Just it's a little bit messed up, but you can just work with it a little bit. And also on this thing, so we're gonna add a 17 printer. 70 is good on this. So yeah, so right now in the game scene you can see that these are like this, and if I change to another resolution, it will actually get matched with the resolution that I'm using. If I go to another resolution, you can see that this component is still inside the scene, so it's not out of the scene, so it is, just easy to use. And if we go to other resolutions, as you can see, also to a free aspect, you can see that all of the elements are visible. So I think it is pretty good that you just get to just action and just work with these canvas elements and things like that for yourself to actually learn about them. If you had any questions, just leave them in the comment section. Also, please leave a like on this video and also subscribe to my channel so I can just get help and make more tutorials. And the next tutorial will be about coding and C# scripting. So we're gonna work a little bit with C#. So if you don't have experience in C#, you can just see that tutorial, and we're gonna work a little bit with our elements and components. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
A few moments later.
You guys, it is about the thing that when you want, you can actually change the reference resolutions over here. You should pay attention that you are having the exact same thing. So as an example, this is a 4K resolution that we've got on monitors actually, and this is with the one that we've got at the projectors and cinemas. So if you would like, you can just press on this little app button here and name it, for example, 4K 4096, and go for the 4096 by 2160, and then you're going to click on OK. So this is this 4K thing that we've got, and also if we get to this 4K thing, you can see that it just changes. Then when I go to the play mode in here, you can see that it doesn't make any differences in the usage. So even if I go to the 4K 4096, I can get the same experience again. So yeah, that was it. Sorry for the interruption.